What's up with that shit, Charlie? Byron. Should I tell you something about? Should I tell you something about? Huh? I told her, I told him I was gonna buy like that day and shit. Alright. I'm gonna be happy. You can't be getting sober? You think so? I think it's time, right? I think so. What do you think, buddy? A lighter? You drink no lighter. What kind of lighter? Alright. Hey, G. Hey, man, you trying to get some dinner shit done?
Huh?
For free?
I got some other plans for that.
I'm putting up today. I'm saying about, do you want to get, like, you got some stuff you want to see the dinner set up?
Yeah, there's a place on.
No, I got a place. I got a place this spring.
Can I get back with you?
Yeah, just let her know,
Alright.
whatever. If you want to get, I was just setting up.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Yeah, if you should get that shit done, I got you.
You good, man.
Thank you, brother.
You good, bro.
Good to see you, brother. Glad you alright.
This watch burning is it gonna be a little thing?
Yeah, just glad you alright, bro.
You good. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Alright. We'll go bug some more people. Alright. Hey, yo. Shannon. What up?
Hi.
What you doing?
Nothing. Makeup.
What's going on?
Sorry.
Alright. How you doing?
Oops.
What
Oh,
happened
just
yesterday?
Huh?
What happened yesterday?
whole bunch of shit. Just dumb shit, as usual. Like he hears and sees things that aren't there.
Did you talk to him about it?
Kind of.
Or he didn't talk to you about it?
Hmm?
I had somebody shooting out there or something.
No. It's probably 1 a.m.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. He just needs to stop doing what he's doing. Like, just shooting up. He needs to stop. There's no other.
Let me get you out of here. I can.
I mean, like right now.
Like
just
right
kidding.
now.
Just kidding.
No, I can set it up.
Okay.
Get you out of here.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm
probably.
dead.
Hmm?
No, I don't think you should be here. You told me you was something about you was hiding in the.
I was. Yeah, I was.
Hiding in the
But that's the only
bathroom and
door.
shit.
The only door that closes.
You shouldn't be in that shit. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm here to help you and shit, bro. Like I'm not here to like. I know like. I come by and shit and I do what I do and shit, like dropping things off and shit like that. But like at the end of the day, I need like there start being progress for
Right.
everybody. You know what I mean? Like I need to.
Yeah, because I'm pretty much, well, St. Louis and me were the only two, right, that were doing something that St.
Right,
Louis isn't even.
And then I lost him and I found him today.
Did you find him good?
But he's on one, so I'm gonna let him be on one for now. But I'll get him back in. But
Where'd you find him at? Where's he at?
he was on Colfax Avenue. Is the longest commercial street in the United States, stretching 26.5 miles. Within the miles lives an underworld known notoriously for prostitution, drug abuse, gang violence, homelessness, and assortment of many other criminal activities. Hi, my name is Mo, but on the facts I was also known as Grim. I'm a former homeless addict that used to be consumed by the street life. During my years of addiction, I developed a hefty criminal background, which in turn I gained relationships and bonds with many of the most unfortunate. After jail and years of sobriety under my belt, I returned to the streets, starting the foundation offering help and assistance to those who want it. I listened to their stories, their pain, and their struggles with surviving this life. This is the way of me giving back to the streets I helped destroy. So join me on my mission as I take you to the true underbelly of this concrete habitat, to bring light and understanding to people I'm trying to help by helping them find a way out of no way. Welcome to Colfax Ave.
Bar for the homeless. You see it sort of almost looking like a speakeasy bar. No, I do not. I do not feel safe on the streets at all.
Belongings and makeshift homes.
Welcome everybody to Colfax Ave. Today we have the lovely Shannon. How are you doing today, girl?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm all right. So we're gonna start it off. You know, I've known you for a couple of years now, but I want to like go in depth of who you are and like how you came to be in the situation that you're in. So where were you born from?
Here, Denver.
Denver, Colorado.
Yep.
What area?
Federal Heights.
Federal Heights.
That's where I grew up. Yeah.
Okay.
Westminster.
Westminster. What school do you go to?
High school, Northland.
Northland.
High school, kind of.
What's kind of?
I went to 3 weeks of my ninth grade year.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
So what? You just dropped out, or?
Well, I had my mom take me out.
Oh, why?
Yeah, just because I didn't want to, because it was easier that way and they wouldn't mess with her if she took me out, you know what I'm saying? Because they do, when I was in school back then, you have to be in school.
Right.
Or true, you know what I'm saying? If you're even late to your classes, they get the parents for it.
Okay.
So my mom took me out of school.
Okay, so you like, I'm done with school.
Yeah.
What'd you do after that? You were just
Got pregnant.
pregnant? Right away, huh?
17, yeah.
Oh, so you're a 17-year-old. Huh?
Well, I did 8th grade twice and 6th grade twice.
Okay.
So I was the oldest freshman in the high school pretty much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I didn't, so just dropped out and got pregnant.
So, so you're pregnant at 17, did the father stick around?
Yep.
Or how
He got
long
a
you
job.
together?
We were 17, both of us. Took his virginity at 17.
Oh, okay.
We were together for 9 years.
Okay.
After that, and we had 5 kids.
5 kids?
hmm
So, were you doing drugs then at the time, or?
Yeah, I mean, the whole time really, I started when I was 18.
Right.
And
Well, what kind of
after I
drugs
had
were
my
you
first kid.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of drugs were you using?
Yes.
Meth?
Yeah.
Oh, clear, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
My
see.
mom, that's the first person.
Really, how'd that happen?
She said, "You want to have a good day at work tomorrow?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "Here you go."
So how was it? Did you have a good day at work?
I had a manic day at work. And that was, I left people's ID. I was like 32 guys came in from a construction site, from like a construction company
Right.
to do work there. And so I had a good day at work.
And your mom really got you onto it and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So you were with your mom, and were you living with your boyfriend at the time?
We all stayed together, in a
Yeah.
motel room at the Venture Inn.
Oh, really?
Yes, on I-36 and, was it at the 72nd? 92nd. Somewhere right there. What is it? I-36 and 72nd Pecos.
72nd and Pecos?
I-36 and Pecos.
Okay.
My bad.
Right.
Yes.
So you
motel.
started doing drugs at younger?
And after I had my first baby, I'd already had my first baby.
Right.
I was 18, and we were all living together in a motel room.
Okay.
I worked at the motel. My husband, he got a job, or my boyfriend at the time, got a job at 17 or 18. We were both, because we're only 3 days apart.
Okay.
So, because we've known each other since 5th grade too, by
Right.
the way. He got a job, I got a job, and took care of the baby, you know what I'm saying? And then when we were able to move by ourselves, we got our own place, and we stayed together for 9 years.
Oh, that's awesome. So what happened? Like, where did it turn?
We were staying at actually at the Royal Palace, Colorado and Colfax.
Colorado.
It's
Okay.
no longer a place anymore, but I was the manager of that motel.
Okay.
After I worked at McDonald's on Bruce Randolph and Colorado as well,
Mhm.
and National Hirschfield. So all 3 jobs, just bam, 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 because National Hirschfield laid me off.
Mhm.
And then I worked at McDonald's, then at the Royal Palace. And he was a drunk, and he tore our whole entire door handle off, the card reader one. He
Mhm.
could have told me downstairs that he needed a new key,
Mhm.
or the babies, and they would open the door for him. He was so drunk and he got upset because he left the key in the room, he ripped the whole door handle off of our door.
Right.
So when I heard about it, because people called in downstairs and told me, you know what I'm saying, there's all kinds of ruckus going on in your room, I went upstairs and the babies were in the corner crying by themselves.
Mhm.
And that's when I knew that I was done. He had to go. I grabbed my babies and I went downstairs and I told the other manager, please go upstairs and make him leave.
Right.
He's done, you know what I'm saying, he had enough reason to because he vandalized the building, whatever.
Right.
And so he did, he made him leave, and he took my oldest son and I took the baby and we split up.
So you know what I mean, I've been in the streets for a long time, you know what I mean? So my question is, like, how did you able to, like, before all that happened, how were you able to, like, raise your kids and stuff in the Royal? The Royal was a mess.
I wasn't at the Royal for a very long time. I was there for a few months because we paid rent ourselves because I was working at National Hirschfield and then the McDonald's. So I was paying rent, so that's why they let me stay or let me do the job,
Right.
because you know what I'm saying, I paid rent for a few months there or
Right.
whatever. So, and that's how I got the job. But I ended up stealing money from them, but the owners didn't find out about the money. The other guy I worked with found out about the money.
Right.
He made me call my mom, tell my mom, I'm a crackhead, Mom, I need some money. I stole money, they're gonna call the police. And my mom actually, for the first time ever, first and last ever time in my life, that she actually brought the $100 and paid, and I got out of it. But I got fired after that because the lady put hands on me, whatever. But,
So you were smoking crack at that time, or?
and clear.
Really?
I was doing,
Okay.
it would never mess with my life like that. It didn't, you know what I'm saying? I never let it take over. I was working. I worked with my first husband. I worked. He
Right.
really didn't work at all. He stayed home with the kids.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it was like super like Mr. Mom, like,
okay.
yeah.
So
And then, but like with I had already given my daughter up for adoption in between the babies. I did.
Okay.
So my second baby born was my girl. So I gave her up for adoption. And then that's when everything just went downhill.
Okay. Well,
Because when after I had my first baby, I got pregnant right away. And my husband told me if I didn't have an abortion, he was gonna leave me. So I took it upon myself to pick up a phone book and find the adoption agencies. You know what I'm saying? So I did that myself. I went through the whole adoption and everything, and I gave her up. And that's when I really, I was pretty much done with him because I had a job by then. By the time I had my baby girl, I had a job. I had an apartment. I had everything that I needed to keep her, and I had a judge look me in the face and say, hey, do you know you don't have to do this? You could take your baby girl home right now.
okay. So that's what you did?
And no,
No.
because I told these people already, you know what I'm saying, they already had her. She went home with them, you know what I'm saying, from the hospital or whatever. I gave birth to her. I spent one night with her, and she went home with them. So
I had it hard.
my mom took me home from that. That was a very, very silent drive home from the hospital.
What happened to the other kids?
Well, I did adoption with 3 babies, but I had my son. I gave him my daughter for adoption. Then I had our other son. And then I'm like, I can't remember, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8. So I kept 2 out of 5 with my first husband. So had my baby, adoption, kept our baby, and adoption with our babies because I had a little fling in between. I don't tell nobody this ever, but I have 3 baby daddies, not 2. But he left me when I was first pregnant. I was 2.5 weeks pregnant when the guy that got me pregnant left back to California and never came back, ever talked to me ever again. So my first husband took care of me.
Oh, so he didn't know, so you had him.
He knew. But the guy didn't know. The guy that left didn't know. But I told my husband right away, you know what I'm saying? We split up for a while and I was with this guy and I got pregnant and he took care of me the whole time.
This is your first husband? Or?
First husband.
And so did he step up to play at least a little bit?
And I gave him up for adoption. I did the baby. It was my choice.
Right.
That was my 3rd adoption. So, and then we had a baby after that.
Right.
Me and him again. So, yeah, that was my first husband. 5 kids. All that turned out to be leaving him in the end, obviously, because he was a drunk.
Right.
So.
After Royal, where'd you guys go from there?
The Royal, we separated from there.
Right.
So that's when I already knew where I wanted to go to, who I wanted to be with, which was his best friend, but they weren't best friends then. You know what I'm saying? We all grew up together.
Okay.
And I've known them both of them since 5th grade. You know, and him were best friends. My 2 baby daddies were best friends growing up since kindergarten.
Okay.
So when they hung out, me and my second baby daddy's wife used to hang out with the kids, you know what I'm saying? So when the guys were all downstairs playing pool or whatever, dartboard, me and her were upstairs with the kids. Or wherever we were at, it was me and her usually hanging out with the kids.
Okay.
So, but I also had known Brandon longer than I knew her. But, so I went from my first husband to my second husband's doorstep. There was nobody in between, nothing. So I was with him for 10 whole years. But I had 3 babies with him. And there's no way adoption, no nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
So he took care of my son Logan longer than he took care of our kids that we've had together. So my first husband's baby with me, he took care of him for a whole year before we had our own kids.
Okay.
And so he calls him daddy, not him.
Okay. Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Then,
So then do you get married again or?
No marriage, just together. I was
Just
with him
together?
for 10 years.
10 years though?
Mhm.
Okay, so
They were happy.
So what happened there?
He worked the whole time. I stayed home. You know what I'm saying? We just were happy together. Like we really were. I never even thought that he would leave, ever. And he kissed us all goodbye like he did every Saturday, and he went bowling and never came home.
Yeah, have you talked to him since, or?
Yeah, I talk to him still to this day.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? A lot, actually, now, because, you know what I'm saying, it took me a long time to understand why the hell, because he slept with another girl.
Oh, okay.
And he couldn't face me, so he called me 2 weeks later. I was 5.5 months pregnant
And left
with
you
our
the
last
kids.
baby, and 3 babies already. So that was my 4th baby I was pregnant. Well, 8th baby I was pregnant with and had, but our 4th baby.
So you're a single mom, you have all these kids.
He leaves me.
He leaves you.
I get a really good job.
You get a really good job.
Me and my little sister.
Okay.
Okay, my little sister had a house. I moved in with her, and I had the whole basement. We had our own apartment, me and the kids did. I had the baby. I paid rent and food stamps and just food stamps and stuff before I got the job after I had the baby. You know, she's let me slide or whatever. Tell them. Had the baby. I got a job at District 12. I was a lunch lady. Me and her both were lunch ladies.
Okay.
My kids, all 3 of my younger babies were in daycare together. All 3 of them were in Brother Bear daycare. And then my oldest went to school with her kids in the morning. She took him. You know what I'm saying? So I would get up, take the 3 kids to daycare, come home, sit for a few minutes, and then go to work.
Right.
The freaking school was in the neighborhood. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I would walk to work,
Right.
get off work, pick up my oldest son, hang out with him, and then we would go walk and get the other babies.
Okay.
And my husband came back and said he wanted to be with me again. He wanted to be a husband and a dad.
Did it work out?
My little sister said, I do not approve of it. I don't want him in my house. I don't want him anywhere. You know what I'm saying? He's fucked up your whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that?
Right.
So we moved out. My sister disowned me.
Okay.
He left me 6 days later.
And so,
And I lost my job. I lost everything.
so you were living with your sister, and
For a
everything was
long
great.
time.
And so then the guy comes back in your life.
He didn't even come to see the baby for 2 whole months after the baby was born.
Wow. And then so after that, then so your sister kicks you out of the apartment downstairs, right?
No, I moved out
You
with
moved
him.
out? Okay,
I
so you
found
moved out.
another place for us to go together. You know what I'm saying? Because he said he wanted to be a dad, and I would give him my last breath for my kids to be with their daddy.
Got back together, excuse me, for 6 days, and then he just
Left
I don't know,
again.
he
He
kissed
left
you
again.
guys on the forehead again.
Took my phone and everything.
And
And
just
then left.
and gone.
Mhm.
And you still talk to this guy.
I do now, yeah.
Okay.
I do. Because,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not saying, he was just going through shit and too, you know what I'm saying, in his head, whatever, and I just didn't pay attention to it. I was pregnant, I had 3 kids already. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I would have paid more attention to my husband a little bit, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't, that's not my fault. You know, I know that for a fact, but like, as far as paying, you know what I'm saying, if I would have known now what I do, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
know then what I do now, then
Right.
it would have been a little different.
Okay. So
I took care of the
you're
kids
single, you're taking care of the kids by
for a
yourself
whole year and a half.
for a whole year and a half.
Mhm.
Then when did things start getting really crunch time?
When I took my baby daddy's money,
Okay, what happened?
his tax return. I finagled it to where I got all the money.
Okay.
We would fill out taxes together so he could claim the kids, and he'll take 35 and I'll take 3,500 and
Right.
split our separate ways. Well, my friend said, if you don't take this money, put your foot down, and finally, you know, the only thing that's gonna get him is his money. The only thing he loves is his money, so take it.
Right.
I did.
Did he
And
come back for that?
7 days later, I lost my children and everything I left because people stole from me. They
Okay.
stole almost exactly, I'm not gonna get all into it.
Right.
In the end, they stole exactly almost $3,500 from me together, the 2 people. That's so money for me,
Okay.
which was what I was supposed to give him. $3,500. So if I would have gave him his $3,500 and took mine and went our separate ways, I believe I probably would still have my children.
So
Because the people stole money, the second people that stole money from me, when they took it, I called 911 because I didn't know what else to do. They took $700 from me almost.
right.
And I was supposed to take the cab, $165 one way to Fort Collins
Okay.
to get in the shelter. So me and the kids were gonna get in that cab and go to the shelter. And that was gonna be, you know what I'm saying, that's where we were going. Well, the night before that, I let these people come in. My room was comped to me because the sewer backed up. I wasn't even supposed to stay. I was supposed to get in the freaking cab that morning.
Right.
And I didn't.
Because they comped you the room, you decided to try it one more day.
Because my kids wanted to see their dad. He promised to come back. He never
Right.
did. So when I called 911 and said I need help, they came. They were cool as hell, but they couldn't find my money, obviously, whatever. So they said, we're going to have a social worker come talk to you in the morning.
It's okay. Yeah, it's all good.
And when they came in the morning, they talked to me like I was like the worst mom in the world. Like I lived under a fucking bridge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That lady walked in my room and out of my room and said, your children are no longer in your custody. You have 30 minutes to find a ride somewhere with your kids or we're taking them now.
Okay.
I called my mom 800 times and she hung up on me every time.
Was your mom and them not willing to help you because of the lifestyle that you chose at the time?
Yeah,
or
but my mom put me in that lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
all I needed was a ride.
did your mom end up being off drugs, or?
My mom's been off drugs. My mom's happy. She's about to get married, actually.
I'm talking about at that time, though. Was she still
she was
on
off drugs. No,
she was off drugs then,
mhm.
so she put her, so what you're telling me is she put her daughter, introduced her daughter to something which all of us know is pretty detrimental to,
Right.
like, how to survive, and then,
And she knew it already. We were already living in a motel room, you know what I'm saying, and lost our house because of all of it, and you know.
right,
But like she did it with us, you know, like, it was my choice, but it's just do it still because I was grown, you know what I'm saying. I did have my own husband and child, but still, you know, like. And she said, I can't help you until you help yourself. What the hell do you mean? So for me, I wasn't strong enough. That's why she said I should have been strong enough to handle not losing my kids by myself.
well, everybody needs help sometimes, I know that. So the caseworker comes in, and she just
Half an hour.
gives you half an hour, and you,
So I've known somebody since I was 14.
okay,
My best friend. We grew up together. She's been there for every single one of my births of my children. And the day she brought her brand new newborn baby home from the hospital, she signed kinship of my children.
okay,
So that way, you know what I'm saying, we could go there. She says, I don't care what you have to do, bring the babies here. Do you know what I'm saying? So, long story short, I did 8 months
okay,
of classes of putting the kids in school, doing all that UAs, all of it, to where I was all the way clean for 8 whole months. And then they granted me permission to live back in the house with the kids.
okay,
So I was doing all of it. I dropped my kids off at daycare that morning, and my best friend called me when I was out on job search. You know what I'm saying? I was actually at the brand new, what's it called, Irving and Colfax and Irving, the library right there, right?
Yeah.
There's the brand new library.
Yeah.
It just was building the new one, and I was in there making phone calls and stuff, and I called her and she told me, do not call me back. She told me I had to come do dishes.
okay,
I said, I'm not coming home to do dishes until I pick up the kids, and then I'll come home and do your damn dishes.
Right.
Because there's no reason I need to come home right now. I'm trying to get out of your house. I'm not trying to stay there forever. But I had spoiled her for the 8 months.
so you were clean, doing housework
I
and
was
stuff
doing
like.
everything. The only thing she did was feed and change her baby.
So it's just this one time that you decided not to do dishes, and then she
Mhm.
decided to do what you
Because I was out on job search and doing my own thing, you know, saying for the kids to get out of her house,
right,
you know, and she was upset about it. And she called me and said, do not come back to the house unless you have a job, and do not contact me unless it's through the social worker if you don't.
so did you try
That was the
to,
last time I see my kids.
that's the last time you seen your kids? And you don't know what could have brought that on, or?
Just her being an asshole. She wanted me to that's it. And then she ended up, she was supposed to keep the kids, you know what I'm saying? But she gave them up to the state.
Okay,
And they took my rights away because with the 8 months of me having a stable, so if you have a baby under 1 and they take your children from you, you have a year of time to prove yourself to get your baby back because they don't like moving the babies around, you know what I'm saying? It's traumatizing for the babies to be moved around so much.
right,
So when I did that whole 8 months and had all that stable place and all that, when she took my stable place of living away from me, I would have had to start that process almost all over again anyways.
Right.
So they would not give me that allotment of time to do that again before they just took my rights away.
and then instead of, even though she signed for the babies, she ended up giving them back
To the state. And they gave them up for adoption, and I to foster parents, and I was not allowed to know anything. I didn't even go to my last court date. You better be ready, because I'm coming with my guns and I'm coming ready. If you want me to say goodbye to my kids, you're not going to watch me say goodbye to my kids. I promise you that.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? We're going to run as far as fast as we can. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? At least they know I tried.
Right.
But like, that's no way. I didn't go to that, and I didn't go to my court date, because no matter what, they're taking my rights, whether I'm standing in front of them or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stand in front of a whole bunch of people and have them tell me that I'm not a good mom, because that's all I did my whole life. You know what I'm saying? My kids were happy. Like, that's all I've ever done. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like.
So, like, bear with me here a little bit. So do you think, like, with the habits of smoking, like, I don't know, were you still smoking crack at that time still too?
No
or
crack, no,
just
just
smoking
clear.
clear?
I mean,
Yeah.
every day, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still.
You know,
I mean, I quit for that 8 months for them. Yeah, absolutely, I was clean. I wasn't smoking then.
oh, so,
Before they took them, though, but they didn't take them because of drugs. They took them because of just, I was acting erratic when they came to the hotel room to talk to me. I was holding the baby and she could tell that I was crying for over 24 hours. I have 4 children living in a motel room, Motel 6, and these people just took all of my money. I didn't have breakfast money for my children. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the social worker came, because I was a single mom and somebody just stole from me. Do you know what I'm saying? So we needed help just to get to where we were going. And that lady just, I mean, she totally just, I don't even know her name. I'm none of it. I don't know. I've totally, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just, yeah, that lady was, I never ever been talked to like that in my life. It was crazy. Because my children were that's all I've ever done, or all I ever did was my kids. And it's been 11 years, and I swear it's like yesterday.
So after that, what would you get into? Once the state took your kids, I know you're lost, so then what happened? Like, what was your...
Run amok.
Run amok?
I mean, that night from them, that day I got the phone call, you know, saying don't come back, that night I did. I ran amok, and I still... 11 years now it's been, and I'm still a little mucky.
Still yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like muck.
So when did you get into?
Almost lost legs.
How'd you almost?
Well, because when I was cleaning my friend's house,
Mm-hmm.
his mom slept in her car in the driveway. She works 18 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was a house hoarder so much that they couldn't even walk in his house.
Right.
So I took it upon myself to clean the house. I went in and I just started cleaning. Well, depressed me and was just not doing well in my life or whatever it was that day. Decided to shoot up in my leg. There's the biggest artery is here, I guess, I don't know. So I tried, and I had bacteria on my skin already because I didn't use an alcohol wipe and it was not clean with what I was doing, paying attention. I didn't care. I was crying as well. You know what I'm saying? So you really can't see when you're crying. So I'm just, just blindly poking. And I put the bacteria under my own skin.
Wow.
Necrotizing fasciitis.
And that's how you almost lost your leg.
Flesh-eating bacteria.
Wow.
It's no joke. If it would have went up, I wouldn't be here.
Wow.
But it traveled down. Because they can't take your organs out and clean them off and put them back.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? If it eats it, it eats it. It's not coming back.
So, like, you lost, like, a little bit of your leg?
A little bit. I lost almost the whole, I can't feel my knee from my hip to my knee.
Oh, wow.
I can feel my leg from my hip to my knee. I had to have the skin taken off my left leg to put on my right leg. First one didn't work. So they said, hey, guess what? We're signed up for a second one.
Right. Wow.
2 skin graft surgeries. 57 days in the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, and I still have my leg.
Yeah, I'm glad you. So, after everything, when you get out, so what were you doing for money?
Actually, I went to South Carolina for 30 days.
Okay.
Hospital paid for my trip.
Okay.
It was supposed to change my life. Hey, guess what? You can go here and you can tell anybody you want whatever you want.
Right.
But that's when I spent that time in the hospital, and I will not ever tell nobody different from what I've gone through. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Saved 4 babies with my adoption stories.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? So my leg, maybe telling somebody what happened might kind of slow them down, or make them think about using alcohol wipes, whatever it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could help somebody maybe do something better with their life with my story. So 30 days. Came right the heck back here, 38 hours on a bus. I was like, please, I said, I don't care if you don't pay for a bus, I'm walking home.
So you came back to Denver?
Yeah,
Okay.
from South Carolina, and just came back. Can't change your life.
Right.
Like that. You can't just pack up and go somewhere else.
Right. So what were you doing for money then, like when you got back for dinner?
Back from then, I was prostituting.
You was prostituting, so
Yeah.
you was out there hustling?
Yeah, I mean, really, I had to. It's easy, quick money, and I had a couple girls that always say, excuse me, you're sitting on a gold mine there. I hate saying that, but that's how they come at you.
What area of Colfax were you guys on?
I was like Yosemite to Dayton, a little bit past Dayton, maybe maybe to Havana.
Right, so the
But Havana was kind of far from me back then,
East Colfax.
So like Yosemite, Dayton-ish. And I didn't really leave that area for a long time, but I was me.
Right.
And I didn't let nobody push me around. No girls were, the girls were like, hey, you want to work together? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I tried a couple girls, but they are dumb.
So were you doing like girlfriend experiences, or were you just going to car dates?
Yeah, car dates.
Car dates?
We'll just hop in the car real fast, you know what I'm saying? And back then it was a lot better, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
Now it's not, you can't, I get dropped off a lot.
So,
a lot more, you know what I'm saying?
Like, so, like, how is it different, like, from from then to now?
The girls are way different. Because it's not really the guys that are whoever picks us up. It's not, or you know, what I'm saying picked us up. They're not different. It's
Right.
the girls, because nowadays there's blues.
Right.
There's, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is, they're, I mean, so if you pick up a girl one time and they say, hey, I want $20 in a blue, the
Right.
next girl you pick up, you're gonna expect her to be almost like that. Do you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So that, from then to now, that's what it is.
So
Changed, I mean, like, the girls are just so, just not giving a heck about themselves anymore, and they
Right.
just, like, you know what I'm saying, like, they take whatever they can.
Right.
And that's what they expect to give.
So did you have a P or anything, or?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
Okay.
Well, heck no.
I'm trying to talk game, but
Smack
yeah.
my damn self. No.
No P?
Yeah, I
You-
mean, yeah,
You ever try to get approached to, like,
I'm a
come
little,
under a wing?
yeah, I mean, when I first got out, I mean, that's when I first got out here and knew I could get money, was, two guys. They, you know what I'm saying, I was standing out front of a freaking liquor store asking for money.
Right.
You know, and they're like, hey girl, what you doing? You know what I'm saying, got a big old bottle, whatever.
Right.
I got this, this guy that wants to, you know what I'm saying, talk to this girl, and you're a girl, so
Right.
wanna come with us, cause you're looking a little, you know, he's looking a little shitty out here, let's go. So
Cool.
they took me, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, I talked to the guy, whatever, and by the end of the night, I had $400. I went to sleep, I woke up, and they left me $20 on my TV, and they left.
Right.
And after that, I never, no, ever, never.
Like, no more.
Yeah, 'cause- yeah, and you know what I'm saying, like, and I just watch girls, you know, so I've been out here for the girls a lot.
Right,
You
yeah,
know,
because you see, I noticed on Colfax, like, how how the girls with P's are, and the girls that's renegading how they are, and the difference is astonishing.
Lots
You know what I
difference.
mean?
It's so different, I know. And girl, I mean, you can't even like barely like reach for a drink when you're around some girls, you know what I'm saying? Or and they, you know, me, I'm just like, but I'm not even like that either, though. I don't be flexy, you know what I'm saying, or nothing. That's why in 42 years of my life, I've never ever been in a fist fight.
Okay.
I've never fought anyone, never. Like, I've never physically have been in a fist fight with a woman.
Wow.
I've never had to fight her. Like, I mean, ever. So,
Oh, that's good.
I mean, I've been homeless for almost 11 years now, on the streets. So, I'm homeless because I kind of chose to be,
Okay.
really. And it's not, I mean, it's not the drugs, because when I had a house, I was a wife, I was a mom, I had it all. And I was still doing drugs then.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but them, when they took my responsibility, they took everything that I ever worked for and loved from me.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was nothing to me, or like I was nothing to it, like I had nothing to do with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's when I chose to be homeless. Because why the hell am I gonna be responsible if whatever I did and was responsible, they took it from me in 2.5 seconds?
Right.
Why would I do it again?
Gotcha.
Do you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I've been. If I have the shit that I want and I need and I love, they can take it. So why would I have that ever again? Do you know?
Okay.
Like, that's kind of how I've, just a little bit of, you know, because I didn't, when they took it from me, like, you know, I needed help,
Right.
you know, so.
Did you ever think about trying to get kid contact? Like trying to get contact with your kids at all?
Yeah,
Or?
my oldest son, he just had a baby.
Okay.
He'll be 2.
Okay.
He's contacted me. My son lives in Nebraska, my oldest son. My 17-year-old lives with my best friend, the one
Okay.
that gave him up, because he had some issues. So they called her, and she's been with him for a while.
Okay.
He's not there all the way yet, but you know, we're working on it.
I appreciate it. But what I really want to do, the reason why I'm doing all this and getting it back, because I know you heard stories about me out there when I was out there and what I was getting into, and of course I got locked up and then did the halfway house program, and one of the great programs that I went through was through All Health. Contacted with them, and what they're going to do is they're going to help me find people, get them a caseworker, get their IDs. I don't know if you have an ID. I know how that's a big thing out there.
It was 11 years.
Yeah. Get an ID, get your caseworker, maybe get some therapy. Because I think that's big. That's what's helped me figure out
That's what I need.
why was I out there getting high? Why was I doing the things that I do? Why do I have a short fuse and
Right.
was hurting people and
Right.
doing whatever I was going to do? So what I would like to do is set you up through All Health, get you a caseworker,
Okay.
see what we can do from there. See if you can do work therapy. We can help you get in housing, not the pallets, because I disagree with the pallets, but.
Okay.
We'll try to see what we can do about getting you housing,
Okay.
through your caseworker, get you some insurance, Medicaid, and then if you want, and just to really try to, what kept me sober for 3.5 years now, And I want to see you 3.5 years from now. I want you to be sober as well. And
Right.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my own money up and help with the down payment for your rehab. So whatever Medicaid don't pay, I'll pay out of my pocket,
Okay.
if that's what you choose to do.
Okay.
But we'll talk with your case manager and go from there
Okay.
and see what we can do. And I want to know if you want the help, I'm here for you.
Yes, that's cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you.
So.
I'm excited for that. That's cool because I do look up to you. Like really, I'm like, shoot, Graham. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my motherfucker.
Right.
Like, I swear, like
Right.
that's what made this so easy for me
Right,
to do. Because
right.
I mean, like, we don't even like know each other like that.
Right.
But we've always been on a respectful, like, upper,
Right.
respectful level with us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what.
And I just tried it. Like, it was hard. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy. It gets hard, but
Yeah, I know. As long as you have somebody strong though,
but
like
you're gonna
like
have
that.
me. Like I sponsor
If you're on
people.
my ass, like you said, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like
I'm
I can totally
yeah.
do it with you.
I'm gonna be on your ass.
You know, yeah.
Especially if that's what you want to do. But I'm not gonna be. You know what I mean? You gotta be ready when you're ready. When
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And if you're ready, we'll at least get you started on just the basics.
Right. Yeah, I'm ready for that.
Then
Yeah.
we can start talking about rehabilitation
Okay.
and things
Yep.
like that.
That's fine with me. I'm ready.
So I appreciate you coming today.
Thank you.
This is another episode of Colfax Ave with Shannon. Thank you guys.